So, we have our example app, totally public. This is where we show off basically all the release engineering if you want to implement it yourself. While we use Codefresh, the strategies apply to other things. One of the cool things that we added this week to this demo, which we've been doing for customers, is supporting labels. And what does that mean? So if I go to example app here, we have some past pull requests. So if I look at one of these, you'll see that there are labels here added, deployed. So the act of adding the deploy label or removing the deploy label actually kicks off that environment and brings it up or brings that environment down, which is really nice because that way you don't utilize cluster resources unnecessarily, since not all pull requests are worthy of an environment. So to do that, it's pretty easy. Under the pull request pipeline, what we did was we added a condition here. And the condition just checks to see, the condition just checks to see if the labels on the pull request include one called deploy. And if that's the case, then it runs that step. So we updating the GitHub status notification, updating or deploying with Helm file, it checks to see that deploy label's there as well. And then we have another pipeline, which is destroy. This one kicks off when a label is added to a pull request. And when that happens, when that label is removed from the pull request. So when that happens, the destroy pipeline kicks off.
Yeah, we were just discussing that in our team meetings this week to do like future deployments or for temporary environments.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, so this is really cool. The other thing that we haven't added to this demo is, let's see. So we go to Codefresh, pull request, is sometimes you want to deploy lots of services to the same namespace. So right now, we calculate the namespace this way, which is just the pull request number and the repo. But to deploy those things to the same namespace, we just need to change this so that it extracts a common field from the branch. So like epic 1234 / fix widgets, epic 1234 should be extracted and used as the namespace. Then multiple branches from multiple projects, multiple repos can all go to the same namespace. And it's a great way to collaborate.
It is cool. I'm going to definitely take a look at this.
Cool. Yeah, so that was...
Are you saying this is reproducible within all the CIs as well?
Well, this is reproducible, provided that the CI supports all those different kinds of webhooks. So that's the thing. Well, let me go back to share my screen here and show you how that's set. This is set up on Codefresh, because that's the missing piece. So I'm going to go over here to, let's see here. This was example apps. I'm going to go to repositories. Oh, my mouse is not responding. All right, so these are the various pipelines that we've set up, like build, release, deploy, testing, pull, request, and destroy. Like GitLab, if you use that, what I don't like about GitLab is I believe they only have the concept of one pipeline per repository, which means you got to overload that pipeline with lots of logic. What I like about this is that it's all broken out. So let's look at the pull request pipeline and what the triggers are for that. This is the thing where we encountered is if companies don't use GitHub, they use like Stash or they use some other system, and they don't use Codefresh. The problem is, well, if they don't use GitHub, many of these kinds of events don't even exist. And then the other problem is if you don't use Codefresh, even if the platform supports it, like labels, then the CI/CD system doesn't support it. So the cool thing is you want to support both, and that's why we like that. So here you see we have the check under the triggers. When the pull request is labeled, we kick off this pipeline. And then we do the same. Then we do something similar on the destroy pipeline. Go over here to triggers, edit this. And then when the pull request is unlabeled or the pull request is closed, that's when we destroy that environment. Other cool things about the triggers that you could use is comments. So you see down here where we have PR comments. We could have an expression here like okay to close. And then if somebody types that comment, this pipeline kicks off and would close it as well.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of like chat ops for GitHub. One of the things I didn't mention before was you could also have scheduled jobs, like on that ETL job I went over earlier. If we go to here, you see wrong one, this one. Here under triggers, we have a cron-based trigger. So this is the type of trigger. Instead of a get-based trigger, like on a webhook, this is a time-based trigger that uses a cron expression. All right, that's that.
Oh, thanks for sharing.
Let me stop that.